All right, we want to welcome on our special guest, number one team in the country from, I say Gonzaga, and I know it's Gonzaga. We got Corey Kispert. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
Fucking fantastic hair you got there. It's very unfortunate for me because I got a hairline coming to the back of my asshole. So, I want
right? Yeah.
I want to get right into it. I mean, yes, you played yesterday against Iowa, number 3 team in the country. Wasn't really even, it was light work for you guys. How is it feeling? How does it feel to just beat the number 3 team by 11 points and it was like Gonzaga's for real?
Well, it wasn't light work, I'll tell you that much. You guys are good. And I'm just really happy with the effort we put forward, man. And just so much energy spent into like going deep into Iowa and like figuring out what they're gonna do. And the product we put out on the floor was just kind of a testament to that. It was super fun. I had a blast. I'm glad it went the way it did.
Did the court itself confuse you? I don't think Marty's a big fan of the court with all the 3-point lines and the different kind of wood. Was it a different adjustment?
No, I love the wood itself. The parquet on there was sick, but yeah, the 3-point line is a little confusing. I mean, luckily the one we shoot from was white, so it kind of popped out at you when you were like playing and stuff. But
wait, so there was 3 lines, right? It was the middle one.
Yeah, it was the middle one and it was white, so it kind of popped out into a blue.
I would literally quit. Like, I wouldn't play. I would be like, dude, just can't you erase it? How do they keep in? You can't fucking erase the lines, like.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and they have like a G League team there, so they got to keep the NBA line out there. But
it's exhausting.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you talked about like just how well you guys played yesterday, and the stat floating around for me was, I saw it on Twitter. I couldn't believe it. You guys missed 17 dunks and layups and still scored 99. So, like, what's it like just playing on a team that doesn't matter? Like, oh, yeah, we'll just go hit 43s. Like, have you ever seen anything like this in your years? Like, you're clicking like I've never seen before.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, as I was going to say, luckily we hit a bunch of threes, and it made up for that. But, yeah, it's pretty sweet to kind of play for a team like that where we just click so well offensively and play so well together. That's the best part. It's how much fun we have and how we pop the ball around really hard to guard when we do that. And so – even if we do miss all those layups and dunks, which we should make, luckily we have a little bit of a backup plan and kind of can figure it out in different ways.
So every year, kind of, there's a thing about Gonzaga where it's like, oh, they don't really play anybody. They are undefeated every year. It's like, oh, they're kind of they're a fraud undefeated team or whatever. But this year, you basically all are just saying fuck you, and we're playing Iowa, we're playing Virginia, we're playing literally anyone that you want right now, and you're just showing everybody how real you are. Is it just, what's the difference around that this year? Is it nice to pretty much say fuck you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's been Coach Few's mentality, kind of. I mean, he's just been on the phone relentlessly, like calling all of his like connections, making games happen. I mean, he made the West Virginia game happen in 10 minutes. That was like a story on ESPN. You know, him and Huggy did that, and our game against Virginia was pretty, split second too. And he's doing everything he can to make this season like the best it can be for us. And it's easy to kind of sit back and think about it as like a big negative, with all these games getting canceled and postponed and having to be flexible and stuff like that. But he's been super light on his feet and he's making things happen. And it's a huge advantage for us because we love playing in those games. And that's why we came here, is to play in those games. And Gonzaga kind of has a foot in their door and is able to schedule those things now.
So, Corey, of course, the non-conference schedule, what we just talked about, has been loaded. But when you guys get into WCC play, is there a sense of added pressure knowing that you guys are pretty much expected to run the table in WCC year in and year out? And does that make things easier or harder in a way to prepare you for a tournament game, or are you just treating it game by game?
Yeah, I mean, the Conference A is getting a lot better, every single year. And I'm not just saying that, like, we were probably going to have 3 teams in the NCAA tournament last year if it was going to happen, St. Mary's and BYU. And, the schools in California are recruiting better and better. And the conference is a lot tougher than it used to be. So it's not just, Gonzaga runs the table anymore. There's a lot of really good games and really tough environments. But they're not, they're not cupcakes. There's no way. Like, these teams are really, really good, and they prepare us for the tournament really, really well, and we firmly believe that. And that's why we're so, we're still playing in the conference and having a great time doing it.
Are you a little excited for the Virginia game now, because you you kind of passed on Virginia and and Notre Dame when you were recruiting?
Did your research, man. Nicely done.
You like that? I fucking read for you.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Virginia was kind of one of the last choices, and kind of stung a little bit when they won the Natty my sophomore year, and but thankfully we get a shot at them, and I'm really happy we get to play them. And Coach Few again did a great job scheduling that, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, how did that feel, like seeing them lose the UMBC? Like, yeah, fuck that. Like, I don't thank God I'm not part of that. And then all of a sudden, it's just win a national championship. Very different emotions.
I think obviously different things could have happened and things would have went a different way, but I'm just really happy for them, honestly, to kind of come back from a loss like that and prove everybody wrong. They deserve to win the national championship that year. They're the best team in the country, and testament to those boys, Kyle Guy, Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter, those guys. It takes a lot of resilience to get that done, and so, there's parts of me that was like that kind of thought about that a little bit, but I mean, nothing too much. It wasn't anything crazy.
I also,
Corey, I don't know if you're like an omen guy. Sorry, Marty. I don't know if you're an omen guy, but Virginia loses in the first round, then wins the national championship. You guys are poised last year, season canceled. I don't want to touch the money, but
hey, knocking on wood here, but yeah,
it's pointing in that direction. You know what I mean? Like you go from the lowest to the low to.
Maybe. Well, unfortunately, it's not quite the same. Everybody was in the same boat we were, but I guess if you want to make that stretch, go ahead. I'm happy to kind of ride that wave.
I do have to admit that I talked a little bit of shit about your appearance of Gonzaga. You and Timmy just look like you're wearing like the headbands and you're playing at a fucking gym with the boys.
Right, like a green ball going out there. And...
It's like that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I said, I think I was like, yeah, Kisper and Timmy are the people like you're playing in a rec league where they're like the best ones, but they're fucking elbowing you, they're sweating all over you, like they are the ones.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it. And like I sweat like nobody's business. So like I just kind of like slip by dudes. That's how I get to the hoop. And Drew is a goofball, man, and he and I kind of like planned this a little bit. Like I started growing my hair out. I let him know I was going to wear it. He kind of did it too. And there's no stopping it now, man. I think it's going to be a thing for the rest of the year.
So you have to.
So Corey, in the first month of the season, you've played games in Florida, Indianapolis, South Dakota. You'll be going to Texas next week, but your school's in Washington. What has it been like racking up all those miles, and what are you doing to kill that time in the air?
Yeah, a lot of travel, man. A lot of travel. And kind of sucks that we're in the top corner of the country where we have to, make those long flights and stuff. But they're not bad. I sleep really well on planes, so a lot of sleep kind of helped me with the jet lag and stuff like that. But, downloading Netflix, reading, watching film, kind of everything in between, playing cards with your teammates, like all that stuff.
You read?
Kind of.
Come on. You read? Okay. I could honestly, I don't think I could tell you one thing about Washington.
That's the question I had. Is Adam Morrison, right? Like Pangos, Kispert, like you guys have stars. I couldn't tell you one thing about Gonzaga's campus, and I don't think during broadcasts they really show it. Like, what's it like up there? Because is that an off-campus house? It looks like your grandmother's house. Like you're waiting to stir the sauce. It looks nice, but like what's going on out there? Because we don't know.
Yeah, this is an off-campus house, and it does look like my grandma's house, a grandma-type house. I've gotten that. I'm going to take it as a compliment a couple different times. But, yeah, it's gotten a lot better. Like, over the last 10 years, buildings are popping up left and right. Campus is growing. More students are being here. But, it's snowy, especially now. Like, it's snowy, and thankfully it's flat, so it's a pretty easy walk. I live about a couple blocks from campus and stuff. So, they show the little bulldog out in front of our gym, and they kind of show the big kind of classroom building on campus. But it's pretty small. It's an easy walk, and it's pretty personable. I said this campus is
snowing in Washington.
Yeah, it's cold and rainy every day there.
You're thinking Seattle, and then that's the cool part about Washington is like there's like a mountain range right in the middle, and like it's like a desert kind of in the summer and snowy a bunch in the winter on the east, and then it just it rains all day long, all year long.
Speaking of Seattle, walk us through the misery of being a Mariners fan with the 19-year playoff drought. Sorry to bring it up, but you gotta have some story there.
I thought we were just talking basketball on the show.
No.
I love the Mariners, and I'm gonna follow them until the day I die. But it is horrible. It's really hard to get your hopes up and see like all the new like kind of trades, acquisitions, young guys, whatever. I mean, we had a rookie of the year this year. What you got there? Yeah, Griffey. There you go.
Yeah, bro, Griffey.
Yep. I got a Griffey jersey in the closet downstairs, and it's tough to get your hopes up like that every year to kind of let it fall flat on its face. And but I'm keeping my fingers crossed and the hopes alive, again for 2021.
No, yeah, they suck.
Well, you did have on the
they're not good.
Glass half full. You had that cool King Felix section when he would pitch, right? They would all stand up and wear
with the little cards.
Yeah,
I sat in that a few times. Yeah,
there you go.
My boy plays for them, Justin Dunn. He's a pitcher for them now. I literally say it sucks that you're on that team.
I mean, I would love to play in Seattle. I think it's a super cool city for sports, but yeah, the win-loss record doesn't really reflect that from the Mariners.
No.
Two of my friends have a Seattle bet. It started at $1 and it doubled, so it got up like 2, 4. They've been friends for like 15 years. It got up to like 5, 12. The bet, long story short, was that if the Seattle Mariners win the World Series, the other kid had to pay for the flight to the parade, the hotel, the gear, everything, and he would double it every year that they didn't. So the first year he gave him $1, then 2 years. The kid who was taking the money felt so bad that he canceled the bet. He was like, "I can't keep taking your money. That's how bad." Yeah,
that's fair. I mean, it's gonna be a while. I think
we gotta explain what happened before we got on this podcast, because like Rico, this is gonna be a teaching moment for Rico. We're not even he gets on. He's like, "Hey Corey, sorry, my kids had to meet the fucking bro." Like, well, you think Corey Kispert gives a fuck about the Bosco family?
Well, he's looking like, why is this guy hostage up in an attic somewhere?
Well, I'm in a grandma looking house, so I think you and I are in the same boat more than the other two.
That's true.
Corey, so getting back on track with Gonzaga here, another thing that stands out about your team and your school, I guess, no football team, right? All of these other Power 5 schools, football, basketball, there's sports going on year-round. Up there, we mentioned we don't really have experience in the Pacific Northwest. Is it Gonzaga basketball living and dying by every shot, every single game, since there is no football up there?
Kinda. I mean, especially in Spokane. I mean, there's Washington State football. It's an hour south of here, and that's kind of. I mean, but in Spokane, in the city, like that, this is it's the pro team, to be honest. Like everybody kind of follows us or recognizable around town, and it's a really cool energy. It's a really like positive, supportive energy. In the city of Spokane, and that's part of the draw of coming here. It's a small town, or it's a small city comparative to kind of anywhere else, but I mean everybody like lives and dies by the Zags. It's really cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, I feel like that's the coolest part, where it's like it's pretty much all they're looking forward to is your games. And are you like a little like kind of celebrity around there?
I mean, I wouldn't say like I blend in kind of well. I mean, I look pretty regular, pretty normal. I'm not that big. I'm not like Umar or Shemet Karnowski or anything like that. I don't like pop out, but the more I play here, the more I get recognized. It's pretty cool.
First of all, Suggs, by the way, did you see his dad on the game where the camera he was using? Mm-hmm. What was that?
Like the foot-long camera, like taking I saw that.
Once I saw, first of all, Suggs was unbelievable last. I mean, he just didn't miss any shots. But once he panned to him, and like his dad's a stone cold killer. Like he would hit a three, just still looking at his camera. It's like that,
yeah. I wanted to tell him like, hey man, the game's on TV, and like you take photo. Like I was amazed that he was taking the photos. I guess it's cool father son, but that was crazy.
Yeah, no, and Jalen's had a lot of cool moments in his life. So even so far, he's only 18, but his dad's dedicated. That's different.
Very.
What goes through a Mark Few led practice?
It is the most competitive and up-tempo thing, especially at the beginning of the year. I mean, we play super fast. We fly the ball up the floor. But the reason why I love playing here more than anybody else is when I would go watch practice, like everything is a competition. Like we just play. Like that's how we get our conditioning in. We don't really like stand on the line and run up and down. Like we just play. Like we play full court, play 5-on-5, 4-on-4. and it makes a lot more, like, makes practice fun. It makes the time go by faster, and it's a good way to get in shape for the way that we play. So it's super competitive. It's upbeat, and it's a lot of 5-on-5 stuff up and down. It's really fun.
Is he like the boy? Is he like very personable with all the players? Like make sure he's in a relationship. Like I feel like he's like always trying to stay up on like trends. Like he's on TikTok and shit. I don't know. I feel like that's the vibe I get from him.
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting. I think he's got it figured out really well because like during the off season, like he's really, really personable. Like asking us about our families, taking us and doing stuff at his house. He has a really nice house out in Spokane, kind of inviting us out there, cooking us meals and stuff like that. But as soon as the season starts, like it's business. Mm-hmm. And I think he doesn't want to get the two mixed together. And it's like a really, really like next level kind of mature approach to coaching. And I didn't quite get it when I got here, but now I do. And I mean, he's a great family man. He really, makes sure that we have a lot of like international guys on our team too. So he makes sure that they kind of feel at home in Spokane when they're thousands of miles from their family. But once the ball goes up during the season, it's a lot more business, and it's pretty interesting how he does it. It's cool.
And I wanted to ask you about, so obviously you declared for the 2020 draft, but you didn't hire an agent. What is the process of that? Just feeling out your options and like whatever you think, like what went into the decision of coming back as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different than a normal year. Like in a normal year, you'd be flying to 3 different cities in a week and working out with teams and getting that like face-to-face time. Mm-hmm. But obviously that doesn't happen this year. So it's a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of interviews through Zoom and stuff like that from home. And thankfully, Coach Few is so connected with guys and with coaches in the NBA, so he can get feedback from them and relay it to me. So even though I wasn't, bouncing from city to city, working out and doing stuff like that, I felt pretty well informed. And then the decision to come back was kind of just what you're seeing on the floor right now. I was really excited to play with the guys on the floor. I thought we had a really good chance to do something special. And, there was more for me to do this year at GU. I could make some big steps and improve my stock, I guess, by coming back this year rather than kind of going in and making it happen last year.
To be honest, it was probably like I would just come back just to drop that tweet you dropped back. Like the whole like, hey, guess what? It's just like I'm back just for the clout. Just like it was so cool. I watched it today. It's like just to say I'm back and people go nuts is fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, hey, me typing the words in Twitter isn't that cool. The video was sick. And Ben, the video guy at GU, is next level. So I mean, the credit goes to him.
So
yeah, that's how we are. We suck. The video guys make us look good.
Well, yeah. Again, not everyone blocks 17 people. I mean, this guy, you were blocking people while announcing Jenga, Rico. You have a problem. You got to stop blocking people on the internet. What are you looking at?
I lead the league in blocks. What are you gonna do?
Thanks for the time, Corey. We had Luka Garza on last week. Having you on today, what do you say, guys? We need to make some competition. Whoever makes it farther in the tournament gets some sort of mobster award.
Yeah,
something. We'll brainstorm that.
I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you the question too. So I asked Luka the same thing. I have a hypothetical for you. All right. It's would you rather go to jail for 10 years with your best friend, and you can't get hurt, you can't get punched in the face, it's just jail for 10 years, or you go to the Amazon for the rest of your life, you get a care package of whatever food you want every day, and your best friend's a monkey.
And my best friend's what?
A monkey. And he can talk to you.
Where do you come up with this, man?
It's a stupid-ass brain I got, I'm telling you.
Man. I don't think I could be like confined in a jail cell for 10 years. Like that doesn't sound like it's cool to me, but yeah, and a monkey as your best friend, that's dope. So
that's what I'm saying, Corey.
Luka went the other way.
You like right on my shoulder and like walk around and stuff. Like,
bro, I'm telling you, go on TikTok and watch George the monkey. All he does is fucking open presents. I take a shit every morning. I watch it for half hour.
Okay, well then, yeah, that seals the deal. I'm taking the Amazon then.
Yeah, George the monkey.
I had one more. All right.
Yeah, let's hear it.
John Rothstein, we had John Rothstein on. He rejected I tried to do 5 Rothsteinism. He rejected every one of them. I don't think they're good either, but I'm hoping to just hit one. My wife was listening to Taylor Swift the other day. You were playing. I'm like, gold. What do you think about Gonzaga Basketball, the great Northwest American dynasty?
As like a tagline?
Yeah, like Rothstein puts that out.
I mean, hey, if John wants to do it, let's do it.
That's the
All
thing.
right,
John
well,
won't do it,
I'm
so he just wants
tweeting it.
approval from you.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
tweeting it every time. All right.
Go ahead. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Maybe John had a reason for not wanting to put that out or whatever, but hey, I'm cool with it.
Everything he said was horrible. Like he just
They
tried.
did it.
He looked at it, was like, dude, what are you talking about? All right, man. Thank you for your time. That was awesome. I mean, #1 team in the country. Corey Kispert, keep watching. I mean, Saturday, huge game too. So we'll be very excited for that, and we'll keep in touch.
And they play Monday, Northwestern State.
Yeah.
Big game on Monday, man. Don't skip that.
No,
one.
it's a big
See?
game. It's a big game.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. All right, thanks, man. I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thanks, Corey.
Thanks, bro. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.